All right, welcome back. We got Naudia today. How you
Hey,
doing?
hey,
Thanks for
good. How are
joining.
you?
Doing good. How did we meet? We met at a 40 under 40, right? Like a couple months ago. Was that the first time we met?
Yes. And that was for Scottsdale Real Producers,
I think
right?
so. Yeah, it was like a
Yeah.
photo shoot.
Yeah. What's funny though is there wasn't even 40 people there. I
That is
think we were
true.
short, a little short, but yeah, that was fun. I
And I
know
had
there was a good crew there too.
that was a good group because I had people hitting me up after like, how do you get invited to these? Like, I've been killing it. And I'm like, I
Oh,
think they just randomly invite top
yeah.
agents. It's
Yeah.
not like they're necessarily the top 40 in the whole state, but like they see who's doing well and sorry if you didn't get invited.
Yeah. I know when Erica reached out, she was like, I'm looking for people with an online presence that, are producing, they're doing their stuff. So kudos to us, I guess, right?
Yeah, that was good. And we got to meet, so that was perfect.
Yeah, I know. It's been fun. I feel like we have a lot of connections too in a lot of ways. So
I
good to
agree.
reconnect.
Small real estate world. So for
Yeah.
those, I mean, I kind of know you. We met for a little bit at that event, but for those who are listening that don't know you, kind of where are you at now? How long have you been in the business? Kind of give us a quick snapshot of your career so
Yeah.
far.
So I am currently at Compass. I am up for my 4-year license renewal. Although technically I've been in the industry for longer. I've only been licensed almost 4. But those 4 years have been crazy. So I got licensed in March of 2022, and it's just been a wild ride ever since. Last year, um, well, really like the last couple years, I do about 15 million,
Nice.
20 to 25 homes per year. My goal is to like double that this year though. So last year, I really focused on building a team. I've got Selling Sonora Group under me. We've got Dana, Olivia, Gab, a TC, and a VA. So we've built it into this amazing crew. And now we're setting for bigger goals next year. So that's my individual production, but as a team, we're on track hopefully next year for about 40 million or so. So
That's
big,
impressive for
big
four
group.
years. Yeah, that's super impressive. I mean, we'll break all that down, but that's
Yeah.
crazy because like that's
Yeah.
what people do in 15 years in this industry. So that's a pretty good start. Like it takes them 15 years to get to that point. So, I mean, why did you get into the business?
I got into the business for a few different reasons, I would say. My mom always kind of like had the idea of wanting to get into real estate. But she struggles with mental illness and she's schizophrenic, so she never really like could hold a job, if I'm being honest.
Hmm.
And it was one thing she like always wanted to do, and I always like kind of lived that through her in a way. But then also, um, I graduated from college in 2020, which obviously is when COVID hit. And so all of my plans went out the window. But I ended up working for a civil engineering firm in corporate marketing. And I did about 2 years there. And I quickly realized that I'd work all these hours, I'd have overtime, blah, blah, blah. I couldn't even get like a $5,000 raise without like urgently, like aggressively pushing for it.
Hmm.
And I was just doing so much work and there was so much development happening because we did roadways and water lines and all sorts of things. And I was like, I'm in the wrong industry. There's just so much to like just development in Arizona alone. I mean, TSMC, for example, is like booming, and now they're looking at Superstition Vistas and Apache Junction, and just the growth and opportunity. I think that was the biggest thing, and I really didn't like being limited to my potential. So
Hmm.
I wanted to kind of create my own destiny, get myself out of debt, like just grind and create a future that made sense for me, but also a way that I could bring other people up with me too. So.
Yeah. So
It's
did
been
you
a
have to, how'd you get your experience so fast? Like, did you have a coach? Did you have a mentor getting into it, or did you just self-taught?
I I don't know if I did things a little bit backwards, but I did start part-time in the industry for my very first year in
Mhm.
2022. And I was doing like side jobs, like back-end admin and like social media for real estate while also in my corporate job. But in 2020, God, what year did I get licensed? 23 now? I'm
Yeah.
right? No, 22.
Four
I'm
years,
like,
yeah, 22. Yeah.
yeah, 22. I'm like, where's the math?
Yeah. End of
20,
COVID.
yes, exactly. End of COVID. I tried to do it solo. And I'm sure like many other agents, they tend to, want to figure out the ropes in real estate. And then you just sit there and you're like, oh my God, there's so much to learn. How am I supposed to know all this? What am I supposed to do? I don't even know how to write a dang offer.
Yeah.
So I was at Keller Williams at the time, which was a good training brokerage. But I just quickly realized if I wanted to get to where I wanted to be to leave my corporate job, I had to go and I had to go fast. So the fastest way to do that was to join a team. So I was under a team at Keller Williams, which was one of the top producing teams there. And I just took in everything I could. Paid 50% commission splits, was not nickeling and diming. I was just in a phase of just trying to absorb as much information. And I feel like that was where I truly got started. But with my team, what I appreciated is that they didn't teach you just the how to write an offer. They taught you the numbers and the metrics behind it. So, like, how many calls do you need to make in order to hit your goal? How many people do you need to talk to? How many open houses? And I learned how to take it from numbers into conversion, into closings, and so on and so forth. And I think that was the number one thing that I've seen as I've taught other agents now is that not everyone has that system and that mind frame when they go into the business, but that really is what it boils down to into scaling so quickly. It's all conversion metrics at the end of the day. So I started on a team and then I ended up going solo after I sold. It was my first year in full time. So 2023, I did 11 deals on my own and I co-listed eight deals with my team lead. So I
Mhm.
did about 20 deals or so that year, and then I
Yeah.
left because I couldn't do the 50% commission splits anymore.
Yeah, that's so similar to my story because like you
Is it
have to,
really?
yeah, because my first 2 years I was at a company that took more than 50%, but I sold 200 homes
Oh
in 2 years.
my
And
God.
so the way I saw it was like I'm in college, I'm in like a master class, master university for real estate, and I'm getting paid still.
Yeah.
Like people are in college to learn high level skills to be a doctor or a lawyer or whatever. I'm like, there's no other way to learn this. Like I could have easily gone to HomeSmart or whatever brokerage and got
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100% of nothing is not really like I was getting
Right.
like 30% on like my first deal was in Mesa. I'll never forget. So
Oh
much
gosh.
work. I went to this house probably 80 times and like it had Tidewater with the VA like just nightmare. I got
Yeah.
$850 on that commission and like to
Oh
this day
my
I
gosh.
know, right? And I have no regrets because I'm like I've been on thousands of listing appointments now, but like then
Yeah.
I got to the point where like now I'm on my own doing I can sell a third of the homes and make
Right.
more and now I
Yeah.
have all these skill sets so like I mean it's very rare that I'll meet like Avo for example that I'll meet like a
Oh
new
yeah.
agent who
He's
doesn't
amazing.
that doesn't need to be on a team like I think there's so
Yeah.
much value to starting off on a team to get the reps even though
Mhm.
you're giving up a chunk or whatever but I'm like I'd rather have the experience because it's not even just the money it's the experience it's the reps it's the blisters because I mean you know how difficult this
Oh
industry is.
yeah. Oh yeah, no, for sure. I think there's pros and cons to having a team, I'll be honest. And I tell the girls on my team this all the time. The best parts are the community and truly working together in the weeds every single day. There's nothing that, and that's truthfully the best part. I would say it's not, some people like to have the team aspect and other people just want to do what they want to do and run their business their way, which I totally respect. I think there's pros and cons to both sides, right? Because when you're on a team, for example, you have people in the deals working through the weeds with you. You can travel more, you can do, have a little bit more flexibility in your personal life. I found when I was a solo agent, I mean, selling 23 homes and I had nine of those in 5 weeks. I couldn't even breathe. Like I literally was just like on alert 24/7, trying to make sure everyone was happy and taken care of at all moments. And I didn't travel at all that year because I was afraid to leave and my clients would be with someone random that they didn't really know. So I think there's pros and cons to both sides. What do you think?
I agree. Yeah, I mean it's a science to learn
Yeah.
how to use leverage, how to scale, how to set expectations. That's where I'm at now. Like I'm
Mhm.
busier than ever and like I can only do so many things, especially the more you learn about dollar per hour and buying back your time. Like
Oh yeah.
there's certain things that we really probably shouldn't be doing. I always like to compare, it's a bad comparison. it's a horrible comparison, but I like to compare it to like a doctor or a lawyer. Like the best
Yeah,
ones are rarely there, but they're so good and they have such a good team representing them that nobody like they still get
right.
referrals and people still go, they're loyal. Like
Yeah,
if you have a good nurse and a good receptionist and good communicators, and then the doctor's doing the surgery, and he's still on top of it, you don't care that he wasn't signing you in, that he wasn't doing your blood pressure, that he wasn't there every
yeah,
single. But if you have a crappy attorney, like your assistant to the attorney or the receptionist or any of that, and their experience is bad, you lose all of that. So
yeah,
that's the
that's
thing that I'm
true.
learning. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that analogy. I don't think I've ever heard that before, but it's a good
Yeah.
way to put it. I mean, you look at some of these bigger agents, like one of my role models that I look up to is Taylor Hunt.
Mhm.
She's in South Carolina and she's grown so quickly to be this like multi-million-dollar agent. But when she started, she was at Keller Williams and just like kind of, doing webinars and different things. But she sells, I mean, in 1 year, she sold like 300 homes. I'm like, how are you selling 300 homes? Like I'm selling 20 and you're
Mhm.
doing 300? That's crazy. So, I mean, obviously she's not in the weeds of all of it, but for her to get to that point and be able to scale, there's obviously a formula in a way, right? So, I think you just kind of have to figure out what I think the biggest thing for agents is like figuring out what you want in your business. Like, do you want to be the 300 unit agent or do you want to be the, high dollar, $3 million sell three homes a year agent, right? There's so many different avenues. So everyone's different and you kind of learn as you go, I feel like what you like and don't like.
100%. And you start to value, like you probably can relate to this. You obviously you want to make more, you want to sell more every single year, but then you really start to value like your peace and like the amount of
Yes.
stress each client gives you. Like there's some clients that will pay full commission or compensation and they're a nightmare. And that to me takes away time from other clients, energy, like it ruins the
Mhm.
fulfillment. And then there's people that are so easy to work with. Maybe they want some sort of discount. I'm like, hey, dollar per hour, I make significantly more
Right.
here.
Right.
And my piece is lower, and if my piece is lower, I sell more homes. I like getting up in the morning. Like I never valued that when I first started, and I just wanted more and more and more and more.
Right.
And I met so many agents who make bank, and I'm like, but they're miserable, you
Yeah.
know? And I'm like, we're the ones that are traveling. Their clients are happy. They're still hitting their goals every year. I'm like, I want to learn how to do that. And that's when I knew the difference was running a business versus just doing production. That's
Yeah,
basically it
for
all.
sure. And you remind me of your structure again. How many people do you kind of just branch out with different showing partners and agents, right?
Yeah, I'm a
Do you have
solo
anyone
agent.
under? You do,
Yeah,
you are.
yeah. So I'm a solo agent. I mean, I got at EXP, I have 100 agents who are in my downline. So
Yeah.
we have a group chat and WhatsApp of like, I think it's 190 agents. So
Oh my gosh.
yeah, I'll put a house in there and just say, hey, $40 or a couple houses and say $40 a door. And like a bunch of newer agents or maybe someone slow that day, it gets picked up within 30 seconds.
That's amazing.
But I tell my clients that the skill that I learned is I tell my clients ahead of time, like, hey, when you go to look at homes, I'm still going to know which homes it is, right? I'm like,
Right.
you don't want to work around my schedule because I'm busy, and I'd rather spend the time like researching the home, doing the negotiations, talking to the agent. I'm like, so you can have me there if you want, or I have 190 agents. Some of them might be unprofessional, some might not. Don't blame me, but they're just going to open the door for you. I'm like, then you
Right.
can see as many homes as you want, as long as you want. I mean, even if they see 50 homes, what's the math on that? It's like
Right.
$2,000
Yeah.
better than giving someone 50% of your commission, you know?
Yeah. That's
And
true.
and it's rare they see 50 homes, and nine times out of 10, they're cool with a showing agent. They're cool with doing it whatever time. The showing agent's happy because they just got paid $100 for the day, you know? And then for like a couple hours, and then I just saved 4 hours of my time. Plus, when you go out showing at homes, it's exhausting. Like your whole
Yeah.
rest of your day is ruined pretty
Yeah.
much. That's not
Well,
fair to the client.
and like you said earlier, like getting back to trying to keep your dollar per hour up and your peace of mind and time, right? I think once you hit a certain number, I've learned the $10 million mark is really where you have to leverage help or you're just going to be swamped and miserable.
Yeah.
So
It's
obviously
scary.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot to learn and it's scary, but I love how you use like your network. That's the
Yeah.
one thing I will say. I love Compass. We have a crazy great brand. The
Mhm.
agent caliber is phenomenal, but we
Yeah.
don't have new agents at Compass. So we
Why, they
don't
just don't
have as
hire
much.
them?
There's a minimum expectation to get in.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a little bit more of like high client experience, like professional exposure, but we don't have the newer agents to really leverage on.
Interesting.
So
But can
oh,
you
go
hire
ahead.
new agents on your team? Or does
I,
everyone have to get approved?
they have to get approved. Yep.
Interesting.
So I have, the girls are, some of them are newer, but they've closed a couple deals.
Yeah.
So as long as they've closed a deal or two and know how to write an offer, we can make it work. But most of the time, like those agents, are getting to production levels. So it's interesting. It definitely is interesting.
There's no right or wrong. I mean, there's so many ways to win in this business. I mean, there's five of the top agents in our little crew. We all get business different ways. We all run our
Yeah.
business different ways, and like we're all doing well. It's just like what fits you. Like you run a team, I don't, and we're both doing well. Like I couldn't run a team, and you probably couldn't see yourself not having a team.
I know.
You know?
That's fair. That is fair. But it impresses me. I'm not gonna lie. I will say the biggest thing of why a team makes sense for me, and again, this is just like every agent's so different. Like you
Mhm.
talk to some people who are, just relationships, they just like meet someone on the street and it's like they've been best friends for 20, 30 years. And I would say from us and the experience we've known each other, like I feel like we are that in certain ways, but at the same time, like my brain is very like numbers, systems, like all of that. And I feel like that is why I'm more team oriented and like numbers
Yeah.
focused, where some people just go out and like have a million conversations and they're not tracking anything and they just have this killer business. But in my head, I'm like, if I don't make my 75 contacts this week, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's different ways to look at it, but it's all in the systems. At least for me, I'm like, I don't know. Would you say your systems too?
I mean, mine's pretty like what the second one you just said, where I
Really?
just go out there. Yeah, like I mean, I have VAs and people that help me make it
Yeah.
organized, but like I don't even remember the last time I logged into my CRM, which is kind of stressful.
Wow.
But I'm good. I mean, I have my whiteboard here. I
I
know all
love
my
that.
hot leads, and one of our coaches that we get a lot of mentorship from, Dustin Runyon. He
Hmm.
has a mega team or a pretty large team in Lake Havasu, and they kill it. Like one of their new agents is on his third year. He's
Oh,
sold
wow.
over 100 houses a year,
Oh my
all
gosh.
all just not even paid, not one paid lead.
Jeez,
And
that's
their
insane.
skill, their technique, or to be on that team is you have to make 20 conversations a day, connections. It
Hmm.
has to be 2 minutes or longer. And like at the end, like there's so many things you can learn in this industry, right? There's
Right.
AI tools, there's how to door knock, how to do open houses. But if you just focus on conversations like what you talked about, 75 a week or whatever it is, I'm subconsciously doing that. Like I do it, I'm
Mhm.
not tracking it as well as I should, but I'm subconsciously doing it. That's the one thing that can completely like guarantee you that you're going to blow up your business. If
Oh
you
yeah.
do more sales, you do more conversations. Less, you
Right.
get less.
Yeah. And it's simple, but at the same time, it's harder than I feel like people realize or make it out to be, you know? So I don't know. There's different ways to look at it. I'm curious because we've chatted, but not a whole ton
Yeah.
on like niches and stuff. What are your thoughts on like agents picking a niche and staying in their lane? Have you heard that theory too?
Like what kind of niche? Like, give me
Like
an example.
location niche or mid-century modern or, you know, luxury, for example. Like I've
Yeah.
seen, what are your thoughts on that? Because as an outside perspective, I feel like your niche is your content, right?
Hmm.
And the news and development and all of that. I'd say
Hmm.
that's your niche. Do you feel like that's really scaled your business by sticking in a niche, or would you say it's more conversations?
Both, but I'm glad you brought it up. It's good timing because I just recently, like 90 days ago, started doing a lot more social media. Like I got a ton of business from social media, but there's already people
Yeah,
that knew me. So like
right.
if you and you like grew up together, you would see me all the time and know I'm in real estate. So when you want to go buy, you'd probably use me. Now I wanted to focus on one, this will answer your question when it comes to niches, is like I wanted more like people that didn't know me as leads that with not having to pay for internet leads.
Right.
That was like 80% referral, 20% internet leads because the referrals just wouldn't let me hit all of my goals, but they got
Right.
close. So I still had that one leg where I'm like, I'll pay for leads, and those were brain damage to me.
Yeah.
It wasn't cold calling like expires or door knocking or anything, but it was one step above that. And to
Hmm.
me, I just don't love doing that. So I'm like, if
Right.
I can figure out a way where people come to me, and so this was the way.
The inbound.
And the niche I
Yep.
picked was so mine's location, obviously, which is Northeast Valley. I do everything in like North Phoenix or North Scottsdale.
Hmm.
But now I'm super heavy to break it down even farther with niche, like my type of personality. So like I'm very clear that I'm kind of like not that professional, but I know what I'm doing. So like a lot of my
Right.
clients, like I get a lot of my luxury clients, like I call them dude, I answer the phone, yo. I wear like sweatpants to a $3 million appointment. Like they're cool
You
with it.
get, but I feel like you get that chill perception in your content.
So that's my niche. Like I don't
Yeah.
want the person who wants me to go pick up their kids from the airport and white glove service. Like that just to me that's I can't leave town on the weekend. They're gonna get offended. They're gonna want to call
Right.
me at 9 p.m. and freak out on me. I don't want that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
there's so much business out here that I think I can triple down on the personality that I want and also the location I want. Luckily for me, it's high price range, so like
Mhm.
I'll up my price range too, and it's been working pretty good. So like I know that's a kind of long answer to your question, but I think there's a way to do that, but it all comes full circle. Is like it only works if you can get enough conversations.
Right. Yeah. And being able to scale those, right?
Yeah.
The one thing that I think you do really well in, or based off what you just said, one thing that really stood out to me is that you literally just said your ideal client. Like you
Hmm.
have a target audience that you're focusing on in all of your work, from what you post online to just who you are, the areas you serve. And
Yeah.
that's, I feel like, what makes real agents stand out. Like you want to be known for something, even if you do everything. And we're working on, as a team, like a collaborated kind of effort to be the Old Town Scottsdale team.
Yeah. I love that.
There's, agents, I did a whole, oh my God, my brain, my systems, it's insane.
I love it.
I took every single top agent. I went on homes.com and looked at all of the agent productions to see who was doing the most volume in the Old Town zip codes.
Hmm.
And every single like top 10 agents were ones that farmed a luxury condo community,
Okay.
55 plus, or they had a very specific niche and farm. So it was either one community or like 55 plus, for example, which is so interesting to me.
It is.
There
Yeah.
was no one who really focused on the zip codes or the areas or anything.
Interesting.
And I think that's one area where our marketing really stands out. I wanted to be something where we create a market and a brand for something that didn't exist. So find a gap and create that. And we literally just started 20 days ago. So, I mean, we have time to get this off the ground. But we're rolling. Every day we're posting something just to build a client, not even a clientele list, but to build the brand. And then we're going to start filtering more and more real estate stuff into it. So it's interesting to see how it's kind of taken off. Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
sneeze.
You're
Um,
good.
but it's just interesting, like there's so many opportunities. You just have to find your gap and like find what you want to do. You're obviously still going to try to have as many conversations and hit your metrics, but do it within whatever you want to be known for. And the people that like your friends, your sphere, they're gonna remember you for something. Even
Hmm.
if it's just there's a million agents, but if you're known for being the Northeast Valley agent, you may not be the agent that is in Glendale with someone you know in Glendale, but they're going to immediately think of you
Yeah.
because you're known for something, right? And that's something to be admired for. So,
This conversation always gets me so hot because it just feels like, do you not feel like there's so much opportunity right now, especially because we're like younger, like our generation is really starting to like, because
mhm.
we're growing up with like all the social media stuff, AI is integrated, like we can really maximize. Like, I always look at it from a perspective like if the realtors who killed it 10, 20 years ago heard what we have
Oh,
access to now, they would be like, that's the easiest thing I've ever heard. But
hmm.
because everyone has it, we all have these limited beliefs, like, well, they all have it. I'm like, no one's
Right,
really
right.
capitalizing on it.
Yeah. Well, and it's our our bonus. I mean, yes, these agents have been in the industry for 20, 30 years. They have a amazing clientele, but we're creating noise in the system. And that's what's amazing is like the old methods don't all work the same like they used to.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, it comes down to conversations, right? But at the end of the day, like we're adding noise into the market, which I think is fun and
And
different,
that's
you
I
know?
think that's why me and you connected too, is like I think it all comes down to like your energy. Like
Yeah.
people just like they like gravitate towards people who are not scared, they're
Mhm.
confident, they're excited about this industry. And that's why I like the whole niche thing and like the farming and all of that is these people like really want to work with you. Like they're
Yeah.
not gonna treat you like crap. Like when I was getting all those leads when I first got in the business, I would meet these people. It was 72 sold. So like I would meet them.
Yeah.
Their house would sell in 3 hours, and then there was no relationship there. So like it's a lot of friction, no relationship building. It was draining. So now
Yeah.
like these people, they're gonna see your branding, they know your personality because of social media or whatever. Now when they want to hire you, there's no friction there. It's fun, they trust you.
They
The whole
trust you.
process is 10 times easier. And then when that happens, you just sell so much more real estate because you want to work a lot harder.
Yeah,
Did I lose you?
exactly.
You look like you
Yep.
froze.
Oh, did I freeze? Here, let me see.
Pause this.
Is it working? That was weird.
I think it says my internet's unstable, so I don't know where that cut off, but
Oh, that's okay. Um, no, but you literally nail on the coffin. It's the trust, the immediate trust that you get. And I just feel like that, like being known for something, you have this authority that people remember you for. But you have to remember too, like, how long have you been doing the social media stuff?
90 days.
Yeah. It comes, but it takes time to come to fruition.
You have to
It's
be
not
very
something that just
consistent.
like happens right away. And it's the consistency more than anything.
But when that one hits, it's so rewarding. Like,
Oh,
I have about 1 million under contract right now, but like my videos have been starting to hit, and I probably have 10 million in the pipeline.
that's
I'm like,
amazing.
it's a great problem to have because I'm like almost getting too many now and the funnels are all broken. But I'm like, I'd rather that than the old me would have been like trying to build out the whole thing. I'd be two
Yeah.
videos in right now. I'm like, I got in front of all these people. And the cool thing about social media is like, even though they fall through the cracks a little bit, they follow you. So
Hmm.
every time you post, you're still kind of nurturing
Right.
them. Yeah, you can
Yep.
make your funnels better, but like they'll reach out if they really need something. Yeah, I'll get to the point where I can start converting more of them like intentionally, but I'll take followers and more views right now while I'm learning. Just all about
Yeah.
improving and just
Right.
swing first, think later, fix it
Yeah.
later.
See, and that's, I would say, my struggle. Like, I'm more of the opposite side
Mhm.
in the sense of like, I'm like, how do I set up the funnel so that it converts before actually getting the leads?
Yeah.
In some regards, right? So I think we have a lot to learn off of each other in different ways.
I'd say the perfect mix is both of us. I know. Like if you saw my systems, you'd probably throw up, and then I'm the opposite where I'm like, "Where's your video?" It's like
You
let's
saw my systems. You're like, where's your videos? But it's
yeah.
we're working through the whole like I have it all outlined in Asana. We're getting all the posts planned. Like it's a whole thing.
I
We're
love
doing it, but it's so new. I mean, 23 days. So
yeah.
we've gotten a few leads, but
Well,
definitely it's all about branding right now. It's just getting the word out, trying to be, the Old Town people, showing up in Old Town, knowing what we're talking about, knowing our demographic, who's here, who we're pitching to, like all the things. So,
well, now you're recorded saying that, so you have to stick to it because we're gonna look back on
no,
this in like
shoot.
6 months, and you can't be like, "Oh, I never did anything."
That
Now you're on record.
would be embarrassing, wouldn't that? No, but I
Oh,
think that's the reason, like, it feels easier to scale when you have a goal in mind, right? When you lack vision in the industry and you're just selling homes to selling homes, it's harder to find a way to, like, you're just doing activities just to do them, right?
mhm.
Like, what is your goal? How are you gonna be remembered and or like cut through all the noise? That's the biggest thing. So,
Yeah. I want to
Yeah.
talk a little bit more about your team because how many agents is it for? Four plus you?
We've got three agents, one VA, one TC.
Love that. And so, how's everyone? How are you and how's everyone getting their business right now? Are
So
you providing any leads or is it all organic?
I provide some leads. I'm a home light preferred partner, so we have that. I think in the last, I mean, obviously, online leads right now are not that great, just
Hmm.
cups of the market.
Hmm.
But we are working through a couple of those. But for the most part, like I've built my entire business on my sphere. I'm like 70% sphere, but I've also done expired listings. I get a lot of business from open houses, tons of referrals, and then agent to agent across other states. So kind of a
Mix.
factor of
Yeah.
everything. My sphere is social media. I don't really count that separate. I
Mhm.
think now with this new goal in mind, it's going to be social media based. Um, but it's kind of a mix, but mostly Sphere. Dana is amazing. That girl can convert open houses like no one I've
Really?
seen.
I've known her. I've known her like my whole life. She's always been
Isn't
that
that
way.
crazy?
Yeah.
I know.
She was a bartender at a place we used to, when we were super young. I was like the bus boy and she was the bartender and she like
Oh,
killed like everyone came in just for her. So she's always had that personality.
that's her like to a T. She crushes open houses, just like makes anyone feel the most comfortable, and she thrives in person.
Hmm.
So the one thing that she struggled with is that in her sphere, like because you're in her sphere, all she has a million realtors and her
Yeah.
family and her friends, all of that. So she's got to put herself in a place to meet people that she doesn't know. So she's been crushing the open house game, pushing herself to be on social media. But if there's anyone that dominates social media, it's Olivia. She is not even posting like Old Town Scottsdale, like here's a home. She's
Mhm.
just posting to her network and genuinely creating interest by starting conversations with people she knows on social media. And she's just I mean,
Love that.
she just gets the most random DMs like, "Hey, I'm ready to buy." She's
Yeah,
like,
isn't that
"Okay,
crazy?
let's go."
So are you pretty structured as far as like do you give them schedules? Do they have to come into the office or do they like how do they see this type of success?
It's really, I mean, it's community.
Mhm.
We do have a lot of accountability on our team, but at the end of the day, it's what you make of it.
Mhm.
Every Monday, we meet for about 45 minutes and we just go through all of our escrows and our clients and our pipeline and what's ahead for the week. So that way we talk through deals. We make sure that if they need coaching or mentoring or certain things, I'm there to like help give them advice and vice versa.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
it's a two-way street. So 45 minutes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, we meet for 2 hours, just 2 hours a day, and we're on Zoom or Google Meet and we're muted. Obviously, we chat
Oh,
here and
nice.
there,
Yeah,
but we're just grinding, following up with
I love
clients,
that.
making calls, doing what we need to do. And the intention is that if you can commit to at least 2 hours, obviously we tend to stay on a little bit later.
Mhm.
It gets you in the rhythm to being here to doing the action, and then the afternoon is for appointments and whatever you need to do. Thursdays are like our marketing slash like team meeting days. So we're
Yeah.
planning like client events, um, content calendars now for different things, but it's mostly like our catch-up day slash in-person work day. So
Yeah.
there's structure, but flexible in the sense that like I'm not there telling you what you need to do. You just need to know that these are like we have a business plan we've created for everyone, numbers and metrics to hit their goals, but it's up to them to get those leads and make those contacts and convert them. So,
Yeah. I mean, real estate, I think real estate needs to stay flexible and it's a little too
yeah.
chaotic, but I think like anybody who's not where they want to be or they want to get a little bit better, I think if you could look at their schedule, you could fix it easily.
Oh, 1000%.
And
Yeah.
I love that you do the 2 hour gap. Like that alone, you can get like 8 hours of sloppy work done in two if you just sit down. We do the
Yeah.
same thing on a Zoom. There's like 10 of us. We all
Yeah.
mute out. We do like an hour, and I get every single time because I only go like twice a week. I should go
Yeah.
5 to 6. I get so because you're in deep flow state and focus.
Yeah.
and you can get so much more done. It moves the needle, and that's the definition of like efficiency and leveraging your time, you know? So if you do more of
Right.
that, I mean, at the end of the day, like there's not really many excuses if you're struggling. Usually it comes to a time management problem.
Right. And that's the thing where like because I meet with the girls on my team once a quarter and I'm looking at their calendars and I'm not, I'm not there to tell them how to run their business. I'm just like, if you want to hit your goals, like show me your calendar. What are you
Mhm.
doing? What's working? What's not working, And it is time management. But it's not even just time management, it's efficiency.
Yeah.
You got to be efficient with your time, especially if you want to scale. Like, for example, my VA, we're it's at my second VA. The first one we had to let go of because she just wasn't doing the things we needed to do. You got to test a few before you find one.
Definitely. Yep.
But our VA now is phenomenal, and we're in the process of finishing up her onboarding, but she's going to be reaching out. We use Lofty as our CRM. I
Mhm.
don't know if you
We
guys
have
use,
Lofty. I use Follow Boss.
yeah, follow
Yeah.
boss, but I like how you can like put the different categories based on stage. So she reaches out to all of our attempting contact leads and she's just sending, hey, I put together a weekly market update once a week and she just categorizes it. She reads like where they're located, blah blah blah. Hope the weather in Minnesota is staying nice and warm. Here's a quick market update. Are you
That's
guys
true.
still thinking this time? Here's a link to the calendar, book a call. We'd love to chat and catch up. And it's very simple, but it's a touch point she's doing for me, acting as me, but keeping the system streamlined and efficient. And then I have her setting agent to agent meetings. So again, acting as me and reaching out to agents in other states and Compass to build that network connection and schedule one-on-ones. So she is trying to book appointments for me,
Yeah.
acting as me, but I'm being more efficient with my time because I taught her how to follow up and do all the things. So she's converting for me to help me spend my time getting more clients in different directions. And
Brilliant.
that is scaling.
That's
So
business 101. Yeah.
yeah. And I mean, we use her for listing marketing and different things, but if we're going to be paying her salary, right? The goal is that she's bringing in business to pay for her salary. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense to have a VA just to get your time back if you're not
Yeah.
getting that money back somewhere else, you know?
Yeah. And that kind of leads into this last question. It's kind of two part, but and then we'll wrap this up is for those listening that want to do more or they're kind of
Mhm.
stuck and want to sell more, kind of like what you said at the beginning, like you had a really good year, but you want to almost double it now. What are you going to do differently? Like what does that mean for someone who's kind of
Ooh.
stuck? Yeah. What's your plan?
Oh, there's, I mean, I will say the biggest part of getting unstuck is your mindset and making sure that you're in the best position mentally to get yourself there. If
1,000%.
you're dwelling on the past or struggling or anything and you're carrying that forward, that's going to hinder you no matter what. So just let it go, move on, practice gratitude, do what you need to do, create the vision board, all the things.
Mm,
But the woo-woo stuff does work, number one. And then number two, it's just go back to the basics.
yeah.
Like you can do all these things and master nothing, but the goal is that at the end of the day, your goal is to have as many conversations as possible.
100%.
So track how many contacts you need and hit your contact goal. Don't overcomplicate it. Do something different every day. Like Monday is my client follow-up day, Tuesday's sphere, Wednesday's my agent to agent contact, but just keep those consistent and hit your number goals. It's just contacts and conversations. So,
I love that. And it's so simple of an industry. It's just not easy. Like if
yeah.
you really take a step back, like it's all it requires, those two things. And I like that you brought up the mindset one because that same mentor I was telling you about and like we talk
Yeah.
about all the time is the thing he says repeatedly, sorry, is he says your self-development will never outpace your income, no matter
Yeah.
what. And I love that because people try to do it vice versa. They try to make more, make more, make more. They let their self-development and their mental health slip.
Yeah.
And even if your income goes up, luckily, you're gonna put yourself in a hole. You're gonna be miserable. You're not gonna be healthy. Like
Yeah.
focus on that first. Obviously, don't put work aside, but focus on being mentally healthy, gratitude, all of that, clear-headed, work on your emotional intelligence. And then when you do that, then you start doing the step two, like what you were saying. It becomes a lot clearer, a lot easier just to understand, okay, I need my 10 to 15 to 20 conversations a day. Where can I get those? Okay. And then it's just the compound effect. Didn't feel
Yeah.
like much on Monday, didn't feel like much on Tuesday. Then you get a lucky one on Wednesday. Then the guy from Monday calls back, still doesn't feel like much, but then you have five appointments, and then you look back after 10 days and you're like, I just put three under contract, and like
Right.
then you're too busy, like
Yeah.
you just gotta trust the process, not
Well,
the
and the other
goal.
thing too is like while you're working, and I'm sure I feel like a lot of agents I've talked to, this past year in the market was tough. Like compared to every other year I've been in the market so far, I feel like deals were longer, buyers were having tougher decisions, sellers weren't getting offers for no reason at all. It was a tougher market. But you just have to keep going and not blame the market because if you blame the market and you convince yourself the market sucks, your year's gonna suck.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, yeah, there's just so many different ways to look, but I feel like going forward this year, the nice thing about our industry is everyone gets a fresh start. You can
Yeah.
set the goal for whatever you want it to be, but if you put the mindset and the just basic, contacts into action, it's not rocket science. But prospecting sucks. Sometimes you don't want to call clients all day and be on the phone for 5 hours, but that's just the business. So put yourself in a good flow state so you can do it.
I agree. This was awesome. You said this was your first podcast?
Yeah.
That was good. I mean, you're a
Thanks.
natural. That was super valuable. I can gauge it
Oh,
because like when I'm done, I'm either like I need to go take a nap or I'm like now I have so much energy. So like that's we
oh.
need more of that. So I appreciate
Hell
it.
yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. We'll wrap it up. What's the last like do you have what's your last piece of advice to maybe yourself or anybody listening, and then we'll end it.
My biggest piece of advice is don't let anyone tell you you can't do something that you believe you can do. Even if you may have your own doubts, but if someone like we all have internal conflict, right? Like we're not good enough in this sense because we compare to this. But if you tell yourself you can do something, you can do it. You just need to create the plan of action and just start doing stuff
Mhm.
and you can make it happen.
I
That's what I
love it.
tell the girls all the time is you can do whatever you want. So
Perfect. Love it.
thanks.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So I'll have the recording and I'll
Okay.
post it maybe hopefully today. Maybe if not, then my guy will do it Monday, but we'll release it and
Sounds
it'll be
good.
good. Perfect. I
Where
appreciate
do
you.
where do you post these?
It's
On
on
YouTube?
I got Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, or
Oh,
Apple Podcast, sorry. And then we can have if there's like clips in it, we can do reels if we need to. I have a
yeah.
software that pulls some out.
Cool.
Cool.
Nice.
I
Well,
appreciate
thanks for
it.
having me.
Yeah, we'll
Good to
connect
see
soon.
you.
You
Yeah, we'll
too.
connect soon.
Have a
Okay,
good one.
bye. You too.